Mike, turn your games down.
Hi, welcome to a very special movie episode. This is episode 150, movie-wise, for Games My Mom Found. I am Mike Albertin, and who's stepping on some bugs with me tonight?
This is Tiffany Peterson, and that's all I got.
Everybody, this is Kenneth Sanity, and I am ready to meet Kali in hell.
But hold on to your potatoes. It's Peter Bingham-Pankratz.
No Time for Love. It's Kerry, Chandler, Carusetta.
So we are here to talk about a movie that I've been meaning to do for a bit, but I kind of dragged my feet. Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, directed by Steven Spielberg, came out in 1984. Feels like a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
It was 41 years ago.
41 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
When was the first one? 80 or 81? I didn't look.
No, 81.
81,
okay.
Yeah.
It took them a bit to make these movies, then.
Wow.
I mean, compared to the way they do it today.
Yeah. They're
3
big
years.
productions.
They went on location.
Yeah, they filmed it in Sri Lanka, I think.
Yeah. The story was, I was reading the Making of the Temple of Doom, which is a very nice book. And they went to India and they said, can we film here? And they said, well, let's look at the script. And they looked at the script and they said, oh, no, we can't film this movie here.
I imagine so.
So they went to Sri Lanka, which is close to
It's
India.
very racist.
Right. That's basically what they said.
Yeah.
I mean, it is very racist, but it is 1930s, so bothers me a little bit less.
They didn't make it in the 1930s, so.
No, I know, but it's set in the 30s, so I can get by with some of the dialogue.
Mm.
But that's probably not the racist part.
But they weren't eating bugs in the 30s.
That's not a thing.
No.
No, none of the food stuff was real. That's all just
It's
complete
all
bullshit.
It's all a creation.
I have an explanation for it, but I'll get into it when we get to that. But yeah, that may not be the worst thing about it. I think.
Oh, it's not.
Yeah.
I thought the food was always real. I thought that was just delicacies in an exotic part of the planet type of thing when I was a kid.
Right, and then that's the problem.
Oops.
Because I mean, the movie plays it as it's disgusting, and all the audience is through the eyes of the white people who are like, oh, I'm terrified by this disgusting food. India is famous for having some of the best cuisine in the world, so much that the colonial people who occupied it appropriated the food and used it as their fast food and their delicacies around the world. So
wasn't India also known for its spice? Isn't that why it was so important? If I remember correctly, a long time ago.
That's why England was there.
Okay.
Tea and
They knew money could be made in spice, but they never used it on food. So I don't know.
Yeah.
White people, am I right?
Right. That's right. The Dutch East India Company. It's a long story. We don't have to go into the history of it, but there's a long history of colonialism in India, which even plays into this movie.
It does.
Yeah, with the British being the heroes at the end.
Right. It's quite interesting.
They even reference the Indian Mutiny, which I found out was against the British East India Company. It wasn't even against the British government. It was against the team.
Well, it's one and the same. The British East India Company, because it's chief investors included the Prime Minister and the King and stuff. So it is a private company, but it's very tied into the government. It's the same, the brother company to the company that the Boston Tea Party was against.
Okay. Yeah. So it's the Trump organization is just really part of our government now? What are you trying to tell me?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you got the British East India Company and the British West India Company. The East India Company is the one the Indians rebelled against, and the West India Company is the one that the Americans rebelled against. But it's all just corruption all the way up.
It's capitalism and corruption and extracting resources at the expense of the people who actually lived in the place.
Yeah.
That sounds accurate.
I mean, there is some political stuff to be gained. There is some history there, and I think that scene in the dinner has some interesting stuff in it, but it's kind of overshadowed by other stuff.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I actually, when I was watching it today, I kind of skipped over the food parts and was just I kept replaying what they were talking about, trying to kind of absorb it all, because I think watching this movie over and over and over again as a kid, I don't think I had really any idea what they were talking about at that dinner.
Right. Yeah.
So
just want to know who those people were at the dinner.
Yeah.
But they're not really I guarantee you the big fat guy eating the beetle was not a guy down in the mines with a whip.
Yeah. I think they're just dignitaries he's entertaining, who the Maharaja.
Yeah, they're dignitaries being entertained by the Maharaja, exactly.
Oh, yeah. Okay. And I should do our memories with this movie. Yes. Sorry, you go, Peter.
Oh no, I'll start. I saw this movie as a kid. I think I watched it on VHS first, and maybe then Laserdisc after that. And it was my least favorite of the Indiana Jones movies, but it was something I rewatched now and again because it was another adventure of my favorite hero, Indiana Jones. So.
Right. I saw this when I was a kid, and I remember this being my favorite as a kid, but I hadn't watched it in a long time. But also, I had my movies mixed. I thought Temple of Doom was the one with the rock that chased him when I was a kid. I remember thinking that. But I like this movie as a kid. I hadn't seen it it's been a bit. I watched all of them a few years ago, but it's been a little while.
Yeah.
Tiffany, what about you?
I'm sure I watched it with my dad, and I don't know why this is my favorite. I know I'm going to be the odd man out, but I think maybe I really didn't like the whole Nazi thing for some reason. Not that this is any better, but I enjoyed this one out of all of them the best.
And Ken.
Oh gosh, this was actually the first one I saw. I didn't see Raiders until after I saw this. So, I mean, I guess I kind of saw it right.
Yes.
Since this is, a prequel to Raiders, but for what it was, I loved it. And there are still parts of this movie that I do love. But, there's a time when you get to a certain age and you understand subtext and history. This movie loses a little bit of luster. But growing up, I loved it.
Kerry, what about you?
So, in spite of having an Indiana Jones tattoo, being an Indiana Jones super fan, I never saw the original, Raiders until I was an adult. And as a kid, we had on VHS this one and one of my favorite movies of all time, Last Crusade. So this was my second favorite for a long time until I was an adult. I loved it as a kid. I was afraid of it when I was little, and I would watch it up until when Mola Ram. Whenever Mola Ram rips that guy's heart out, that was where I would usually have to turn it off when I was 5. Yeah, we had this when it was recorded on VHS off of a free HBO weekend, I think. It was one of those. And so I've seen it. I mean, this is one I would watch on repeat throughout my childhood. I've probably seen it 40, 50 times. And I loved it. And I still like it. It's just my least favorite of the trilogy.
Fair. I mean, I actually didn't even know this movie took place before Raiders until 5 years ago. I was listening to a podcast and they talked about it. I'm like, prequel, I never figured it out, even though it gives you the damn year in the opening of this movie. I never knew.
Right.
Yeah, what year does it say it is? 1935?
Yeah.
Yeah, and Raiders is 37 and
36. 36.
Oh, 36. And then Crusade is 39, 37, 30, 39?
I think it's 38.
38. Yeah, 38 would make sense because they have that rally at Nuremberg where they burn the books. That only actually happened once. And so 38 would be right. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, so I guess I don't know if I knew it was a prequel when I was a kid or not. I knew at some point when I was in high school or something and was super into getting into I don't know, film, with an italics on it. I think is when I kind of must have read that on some message board or something.
It's kind of a weird one in that, in my opinion, it doesn't need to be a prequel and it could have stood as a sequel. And I think the reason that Lucas and Spielberg said that it was a prequel is because they didn't want to use the Nazis again.
Yeah.
I don't know. They could have just not mentioned the Nazis.
I mean, you could still do 38 without the Nazis, I feel like.
Right. Because the Nazis aren't really doing anything to do with India right now. So theoretically, they could have done it. But I mean, in the end, it doesn't really matter either way.
I mean, I think it being a prequel actually helps it when you know that, because there is stuff in this movie that has his character grow that didn't make sense from Raiders because it felt like he grew in Raiders. Right.
You don't see, after Raiders, you don't see him doing Fortune and Glory.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Because at the end of Raiders, they paid him and he's he doesn't care about the money. He cares about the fact of what they're going to do with this historic artifact. Where here, he's fucking just for money. He really is.
He's straight up a grave robber. He gives Laoche that head.
Yeah. Oh,
exchange for that diamond.
The ashes.
The ashes.
Yeah,
his ashes. His ashes. Yeah. Which I was going to mention. Laoche, by the way, is played by Roy Chow, who he's Tanaka in Bloodsport.
Yeah, I thought he looked familiar.
Yeah, I did not. I was I didn't recognize him, and I was looking at IMDb and his photo on IMDb. I'm like, oh, that looks like the dude from Bloodsport. And then that's the photo on IMDb is from Bloodsport.
Nice. I've not seen it.
It looks like him. He's got the black kimono on.
I've never seen it either.
And he's in Game of Death also.
Never seen that either.
We never seen Game of Death. It's Bruce Lee's last movie. They had to like edit his funeral. They used footage from his funeral in the beginning of the movie.
Wow.
Yeah, because he died like before the movie came out. It's where he fights Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Oh, I know of it.
It's where it's the yellow tracksuit. Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
And Ken, what is the plot of this movie?
Oh,
Big breath.
yeah.
Always.
Well, it's basically Bollywood meets Hollywood as Dr. Indiana Jones goes on yet another adventure as he crash lands in India, of all places. Soon he's taken ashore to a small village who has lost its holy relic, and he has to fight his way through so many Indian stereotypes in order to save the day, save missing children, and most importantly, save his hat.
That's in all three movies, isn't it? Where he's got to grab the hat at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Him in the damn hat.
It's a nice hat.
So, yeah. There's a couple of tropes there's like in every movie he fights like a big, strong, burly henchman who dies like in a weird way.
Horrible way.
Horrific way. Yeah.
It's always the same guy, too.
Yeah, Pat Roach. This
The same actor?
It's the same actor, yeah.
Yeah.
This is the actor that played the giant Nazi in the first movie?
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
the same actor who plays the guy who gets crushed in this movie, yeah.
Oh, crazy. I had no idea.
He's actually, this is Indiana Jones with him. He is in Last Crusade only briefly. His main part was cut from that movie. But he is in that one.
I'll say I don't remember him fighting like a huge dude in Last Crusade.
He was supposed to be on the Zeppelin, and he was supposed to fall off the Zeppelin, but they cut that thing.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, it would have been redundant.
Right, yeah.
Also,
I wouldn't mind it, but that makes sense.
Well, similarly, like Last Crusade, that really awesome scene where they're in the like World War I era biplanes,
Right.
Or biplane getting attacked by a World War II era fighter plane and all that. That was originally in the script for this.
Oh,
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, a version of that. They cut it because they were over budget, and Spielberg like told the writers, "I need you to save me some money," and so they allegedly saved $1 million by cutting one scene.
Nice.
okay.
Over.
Allegedly.
Yeah, back in the day, even Steven Spielberg could have had a budget that he had to follow. So
Yeah.
not anymore, but back then they did.
One thing that I was thinking about with this movie, like especially with it being a prequel, is just how this first scene, like the whole stuff in China, even though it's a weird way for him to get to India, but the stuff in China is really good, but Willie makes zero sense to why she's in this movie.
Well-
Where'd she come from?
No, I think it makes sense.
Yeah, so
Like, so I'll say, I think she's the worst thing about the movie, other than the racism. It's like the racism and then Willie, because she's just so annoying and dumb. And Kate Capshaw was like even annoyed by it. She's like, this is dumb. Like, why is my character so stupid and loud? Because she is just really, really stupid, like mind-numbingly dumb. She's like, oh, what? Huh? Just all the time, while anytime she's not complaining. And it's just a really annoying character. But I do think it makes sense why she would be in this situation. She's a famous American singer, and she's doing a tour she's singing at this like prestigious club are they supposed to be in Shanghai?
They're in Shanghai.
No, is it Shanghai?
It's Shanghai, yeah.
It says Shanghai 1935 in the
Oh, it
opening.
does. Okay, yeah, because he talks about but anyway, and then she's there at that club, and she's dating Lao She because she's a gold digger. That's her whole. They show that multiple times. She's a gold digger, and so that's why she's with this like crime boss, because he's the wealthiest guy in Shanghai. And so I think it makes sense that she would be there, and then she just gets swept up in Indy's shit.
What I don't get is why she ends up on the plane. Like, because I get it in the club, I get it in the car, but you think when you're getting on a plane, you're like, okay, you can stay here. Like, you don't need to be kidnapped with us to go wherever the hell we're going.
Well, I mean, I don't. Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, I don't
understand that part.
she afraid that her boyfriend was gonna kill her.
I mean,
Maybe she-
I'll get another one.
Yeah, he had shot at her and stuff, and yeah, I'll get another. I love that. He laughs. He's like, I'll get another one. I love it.
Yeah, it doesn't really explain. It could have been explained by like a line or two, like, my manager left me or something. I don't know. I hate my manager anyway. I don't know,
Yeah.
But instead, it's just like, oh, they got swept up in the ride because that's what you do in serials. So
Right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
But anyway, I never have questioned like why she's along on the whole thing, because then, she's trying to get to Delhi, and she thinks that's where they're going, but then she finds out they're going to Pankot, but there's a Maharaja there, and so she's like, oh, Maharaja, that'd work. So it's just like she's always just following whatever, is going to lead her to some money, basically.
I mean, it is 1930s.
Yeah.
So it kind of fits.
But I mean, that is her character. She's just a stereotype. Like, that's her whole thing.
Yeah. No, she's not a good character at all in this. And I think I picked up a lot more of that watching it this time.
Yeah.
God,
she truly is history's greatest monster.
Yeah. Even as a kid, I hated her character.
Right.
Like,
and this is coming off of Karen Allen and Marion, who's such a strong character, like can hold her own.
Yeah.
And like just such a downgrade. Obviously, it's a prequel or whatever, but like it's like a downgrade for Indy. It's like, come on now.
So he knows he likes different kind of women now, right? Since it's a prequel, he doesn't want one that screams her head off and looks for diamonds.
There you go.
Yeah.
I mean, she did grab the antidote when she could have left it, but she didn't give it to him either.
I think she fell it.
At least she's.
I always thought.
Yeah. At least she's age appropriate. So.
Right. Well. Yeah.
Yeah, they did do that. Did they not do that in one of these movies?
Well, no. In the original script for Raiders, Karen Allen is supposed to have been like 12 when Indy was 20 and they were together.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and it's still implied in the script. And if you like kind of add up the ages, it kind of fits. But yeah,
that's why she said, "I was a child."
Right.
Clearly.
I mean, yes, that is why.
I always said that to be figurative, but no, it was literal.
Yeah, that's a little shady, even for 1930. I'm pretty sure.
I was trying to see what Kate Catshaw has been in because I just know her as this and Spielberg's second wife.
The Jewel, no, something of the Nile.
No, that was Kathleen Turner. Yeah.
Oh, was it?
Space Camp. She was in Space Camp.
Yeah.
Is she the like?
Oh, wow.
Is she like the hot older girl in Space Camp that's hitting on the like 12-year-old boy?
I've never seen Space Camp.
No. Is that Leah Thompson? Or is it Kelly Preston? God, I don't remember.
I mean, she's like what in her 30s. She wouldn't be playing a girl though. She's probably playing like a teacher or something. I'm guessing.
I know. I was getting Space Camp mixed up with Flight of the Navigator.
Okay.
No. Oh no, she's just one of the girls on the space shuttle in Space Camp. I'm pretty sure. Or no, maybe she's a teacher. Yeah, no, I guess she would have been a teacher. Never mind.
I was also thinking, like, if you wanted to kill Indy, like, did you need to like blow up your plane? Couldn't you just shoot him?
Well, they tried to shoot him. He got away.
I know, but like when they see the plane, they sacrifice a plane just to get rid of him.
Oh, you mean like the pilots could have shot him or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. They definitely could have shot him.
Like he's sleeping, and they walk right by him, and just go, like, yeah, it might fuck up your plane a little bit, but...
And we'd have no movie.
Well, yeah. See, now here's my explanation. Lao Che had insurance policy on that plane. He'd been willing to get rid of it for a long time. So he's like, all right, we're right off the plane and Indiana Jones at the same time.
Like what's
it is kind of falling apart. So.
And the pilots forgot their gun. That's what happened. The pilot forgot his gun.
There you go.
He's like, all right, well, I don't have a gun. How about I just crash this plane into a mountain instead? That'll work.
It's just one of those weird things to me. Like, I didn't understand why it's in there. Like, I mean, the fact like they try to kill Indy in this movie. Like, he makes comment they try to kill him the night before. And you think he would be more prepared not to trust these guys at all. Like, he has a friend there with a gun. He has a plan in place. Why does he drink the drink that they prepared for him?
Yeah, he broke Lao Che's son's hand the night before.
Looks like he cut off a finger.
Or cut off his finger. Okay, even worse, yeah.
Here's the thing, I think, is one problem with this movie, is that it's kind of written, I think, with children in mind. And so it has kind of a children's logic, whereas Indiana Jones was like very dark and a very adult film, despite being PG, or like Raiders of the Lost Ark, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Was this the movie that they invented PG-13 for, or am I thinking of something else?
Yeah. This and Gremlins caused them. They were rated PG, but then afterwards they said, we got to have another rating because this movie is scaring people. I think Red Dawn was the first PG-13 movie.
Yeah. Yes. I think that's correct. Yeah. It was triggered by this, Gremlins, and Poltergeist all getting PG ratings, which Poltergeist getting a PG rating is insane.
Right. Yeah.
People were bringing their kindergartens to see Poltergeist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
it's not a kid's movie.
Being terrified of clowns for the rest of their lives.
Yeah, me, exactly. I saw that movie when I was like 10. That scared the shit out of me. Yeah, Red Dawn was the first one, which is the same year as this, too. So that's interesting.
Oh.
Yeah.
A lot of shit came out in 1984 then, apparently.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, yeah. 1984 was big year for movies.
Very big year.
Oh, sorry. Another comment I want to make about the China part. But like, I was just wondering, like, why does he drinks the drink? Like, I'm assuming that the plan wasn't jump out the window if he had to, because Short Round feel like he was waiting there for him, or that was all just happenstance.
Yeah, I mean that was the first thing where I was like, wait, so Short Round just happens to be sitting there with the car right under that window. But yeah, I guess that was the plan.
Well, you can see him drive up when the window breaks.
Oh, okay.
So, like, I think he was parked down the block.
He was just parked. Yeah, he was just parked down there, and he saw
the commotion in the Club Obi-Wan, and he was like, "All right,
this is
right.
I gotta go."
I love that it's Club Obi-Wan. That's so funny.
Right.
Me too.
Yeah.
Does Last Crusade have
only
a Star Wars
one
reference?
damn thing that could be?
Yeah, C-3PO and R2-D2 are in the hieroglyphics and the.
That's Raiders. That's
Raiders. Yeah. Oh, I thought that's what you said.
You did.
Oh,
I think you said Last Crusade.
Oh, you said Last Crusade. Oh, okay. I thought you said Raiders. What is that? What is?
No, it does. No, wait. It might, but I don't know. I can't think of it offhand.
Okay.
I feel like it does, but I can't think of it offhand either. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It's a good opening, honestly. It's like a James Bond opening.
It is. Yeah, that's exactly. It's a James Bond opening. It's really good.
I do love the song "Anything Goes." I think that's a great way to open it because you're like, it's a tempo. It starts with like a gong and stuff. And you're like, this is gonna be scary, and then it goes into like a musical number. So,
but she's singing it in Chinese also.
Right, which is good.
Is really cool. She's singing "Anything Goes" in Chinese.
Where did all of these dancers come from?
I mean, you're not supposed to think about that either.
Like it looks like one of those musical 30s black and white movies.
That's what it was made to evoke.
Right.
I still don't know where they came from.
Well, I figured they were part of her act, right?
Yeah,
maybe like
the building looks to like change.
Yeah, it's like a different place.
The stage rotates. Yeah.
Yeah, it does. It does have kind of that like magical realism to it, like a musical would. I guess.
Right. Then she runs through the door and nobody else is there. She's like, anything goes. But the rest of the people don't even show up. And the other dancers you see are all Chinese women, and all the women in that scene are white women.
Okay. Yeah, then I have no idea.
Yeah. Maybe she goes back there for 2 minutes. There's silence in the stage, and then she walks back out. That's part of the gimmick. I don't know.
I do got to say, when that guy gets stabbed with the skewer, that was fucking awesome.
Yeah, that entire scene is so good. And he's trying to get the antidote and things keep sliding across the floor, the bucket of ice. Right. Just as she's grabbing the diamond, the bucket of ice gets poured on it, and she's like, oh.
Very slapstick.
I have a huge problem with the poison scene, by the way. There is no poison on Earth that will affect you that quickly and then take so long to kill you.
That's what I was saying.
That's not how poison works.
The guy's like, oh, it acts very fast. 15 minutes later, he's still alive and hasn't drinking the potion, and the antidote yet.
Isn't if you exert yourself, doesn't that, because your blood pump, doesn't that make the poison move faster?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, okay. That's how poison works. That's how blood works.
Yeah.
That's how your heart works.
That too. So, okay. Because I know there are poison that kill you pretty quickly.
Yeah, but you're not like running, jumping, climbing trees.
You're just
during that time.
On the ground screaming?
Yeah. You're like, shit, I've been poisoned.
Right.
Well, he grabs his shirt collar and stretches it and starts sweating. Doesn't that count?
Well, yeah, that saved him a couple minutes. Because
and splashing the champagne on his face. Did that?
Yeah, that saved him another minute. So we already got a couple minutes banked.
Because he also doesn't drink the poison or the antidote that quickly. He doesn't get it until he's in the car, and then he's got to fight Willie for it.
Yeah. I also like that she tosses his gun out the window because it's hot and burns her hand.
I broke a nail and burned my fingers.
I cracked a nail. I paid attention. I was like, if he broke a nail, you would see a broken nail. She has no broken nail, so I'm glad they went and cracked a nail because you wouldn't notice that.
You really noticed all her fingers.
Look.
You never noticed when I break a nail.
I do not. I noticed when she did. I checked.
Don't be upset, Tiff. He doesn't want you for the podcast.
Another thing I really liked is when he chops down the ropes on the gong, and then they run behind the rolling gong as the guy just cackles with delight while he's shooting the Tommy gun at them. I love that scene. It's so good. Yeah. And that was in the script for Raiders.
Oh.
They had it?
Yeah. So there's a couple of different scenes. Yeah, that and the minecart scene were both in the script for Raiders originally.
Yeah. And did you guys...
Minus the screaming blonde.
I'm assuming.
Yeah, Marion instead, so would have been a little... Yeah, better. Yeah, definitely. But no Short Round.
Until Tiff, you pointed out Dan Aykroyd's in this movie.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes. Art Weber.
I wasn't sure. I thought I saw his voice, or heard his voice and saw his face, but the mic's like, no, that's not him.
It is.
Yeah,
I had the same. I was watching it today, and I was like, that voice is so familiar. Who is that? And I couldn't place it till I went on IMDb and looked it up.
I feel like that's one of his SNL characters, that voice.
It very well could be.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think Dan Aykroyd was in 1941 by Steven Spielberg, and I think he was a friend. He was a friend of Steven Spielberg, so he was like, "All right, I'll do a cameo for this movie."
Yeah, that's really cool. I love Dan Aykroyd.
Yeah,
Same.
He's all right.
He's my favorite of that like original SNL group.
Oh, really?
Like that early SNL group. Yeah. As far as like comedic actors go, not like necessarily like as people go, but like as comedic actors go, he's my favorite because I'm a big Blues Brothers and Ghostbusters fan too.
Oh
so.
yeah, Blues Brothers is good.
Yeah.
Isn't Ghostbusters 84 also?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man, if you were a child, if you were 12 years old in 1984, you would have been set.
Right? Yeah. Like I was born in 83, so I was growing up with all these movies on VHS and like broadcast TV or cable when we had it off and on. So
I think Gremlins came out too. Is that?
Yeah,
I mean,
Gremlins came out a month before Raiders, no, not a month, but it came out that around that time. Yeah.
Yeah. Boy.
This movie...
Gremlins came out a month before Red Dawn. That's what it was.
Okay.
Yeah, because Red Dawn is like is one of the big summer movies, and I guess was this like I don't know what the release date of this was. Oh, this is May also. So this is like competing with Gremlins, basically.
Right.
Who won?
Steven Spielberg money coming to himself. It doesn't matter who wins.
Steven Spielberg won. That's who won.
Yeah.
Oh, did he own Amblin? Did Amblin do Gremlins?
I know he produced it. I don't know if it was Amblin, but he definitely produced it.
Yeah, did he not have Amblin yet? I don't know.
He was involved in Gremlins. I know that.
That's right. I think we talked about. We did a Gremlins podcast, right?
I did. I can't remember if you were there, but yeah, I don't think.
I thought I was on. I thought I was.
Maybe
on
I
the
don't
Gremlins
remember.
Podcast. Yeah. Or no, I was on the. Did we do Gremlins 2?
No, I've not done Gremlins 2 yet.
Oh, okay. So I just dreamed that one. Well, we need to do Gremlins 2 because I fucking love Gremlins 2.
Okay.
I showed Gremlins 2 to my son like a few months ago, and he thought it was amazing. So
I've never seen it. One of those movies I got to cross off my list someday.
Oh, so it's so good. It's meta commentary about how stupid it would be to make a sequel to Gremlins.
It's in the movie.
Yeah.
Okay, I do look forward to seeing that. So I have a couple. Do you think he was going to go to Palace? Yeah, I said that wrong. Do you think he was going to go to the palace at first, or was he just going to skip this place and go to New Delhi until that kid, the dying kid, shows up?
Mm-hmm.
He was going to Delhi. Yeah.
Okay.
I think that it was like I've wondered watching it. Is he motivated because he wants to save the children at all, or is it purely about him wanting sacred Shiva stones?
At this point in his life, it's still fortune and glory.
Yeah.
Like I don't. It's not a message that I support, but at this point, Indiana Jones is very much team.
Yeah. I mean, I think he's moved by the story of the famine, but at the same time, he's like, this is a perfect opportunity to get. If there wasn't like a treasure to be found, he might have been like, well, sorry, there's not much I can do for you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think that's true. Yeah.
Treasure though.
No, I mean
everybody changed his mind when he saw the half-naked little boys.
Yeah.
Well, that and I mean, there were 3 stones, and maybe he would have kept one of them, but 2 of them went to go in Gator's mouth. So
now I might be misremembering this wrong, but I swear when I first saw this movie, that kid was not breathing when he was carted off. The kid that escaped to the village.
Yeah, he definitely seems like he's dying, but I think he's not supposed to be dead.
No, they say he survived.
Okay, yeah.
I thought he was dead too. I thought he literally gets to Indy, gives them the parchment, and then dies.
And says,
like that's what I swear I remember, is that there were no breathing sounds when he was being carried away. But I very clearly heard them when I was watching it this time.
Yeah, I'm not sure of that.
So I don't know if that's one of Lucas's and Spielberg's, replace the guns with walkie-talkies thing.
I mean, I know you weren't watching this on Disney Plus. I'm assuming you pulled out your DVD or something.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
So. The set somewheres.
Yeah, I have it on DVD, and I also I think I have this one on VHS on my shelf back here, but
I didn't.
Oh no, I don't.
My VHS.
Yeah.
No. I didn't have this on VHS. I actually didn't own this until 2008 or 9. They released this on DVD.
Yeah.
In really cool cases. That's how I first got these movies.
Yeah, and that like really nice, like kind of tan brown, like looks like almost like a stone sleeve.
Yeah.
With the trilogy. Yeah, and it has like the making.
I bought each one
I think my
DVD trilogy set.
My wife got it for me for Christmas or my birthday in like 2010-ish. And that's normally what I watch. But today I actually did watch the Disney Plus version. And if there's been changes, I don't know what they would. I don't see them. I didn't notice them.
I'm assuming there's not because all the racism is still here. So
yeah, I doubt. I don't think there've been any changes to this movie. I know Spielberg did some stuff to Raiders, like just made a cliff bigger, I think.
Yeah.
I don't think there was very many changes to any of these things that I heard of. I could be wrong, but I don't think this happened. But I don't know the answer, Ken, if there was breathing or not. They could have been added in later. Who knows? I don't know.
It could well be my imagination.
Right.
Was this chess moving, though? Or we didn't see that part?
Nah, it was kind of
Parted him
bundled up,
away.
so it was kind of difficult to see.
They bundle them up.
put them on a stretcher and take them away.
That was somebody's child in that film.
I mean, there's a lot of children. They kidnapped a lot of children. I'm assuming it's from different towns.
They don't
Right.
Can't.
Well, all the children kind of run back. Well, you see a lot of children run back, but
I think it is supposed to be from that village, but they just have a lot of kids.
yeah, maybe they're like right there.
I mean, it looks like 50.
So, but they all look like they're very similar age, though.
Yeah.
So
Have
they
y'all
all
seen
had babies at once?
y'all seen the Clerks cartoon series?
No.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So one of my favorite gags in the Clerks cartoon series, they have an episode that is a reference to Raiders of the Lost Ark and The Last Starfighter, where it's an arcade game called, is it called Pharaoh?
Yep, it is Pharaoh.
Where you're like a slave building the pyramids.
Oh, no.
And he ends up getting like taken away, like Last Starfighter, you're the champion. We need your help. And then he just gets put in like a mine doing like slave labor and then the kids, it's like he like helps all the kids break out. And it's like a lot of references to Temple of Doom.
Now I want to watch The Last Starfighter.
I've never seen that either.
Oh, that's a fun 80s movie. I was going to say it's a really good movie, but it's not. But it's a fun movie. I like it a lot.
It's a fun movie.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's good. I enjoyed it when I was younger, but I was younger, so
Yeah, I watched it again when I was like in my 20s and I still liked it. So
we need to look that up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like all the stuff with Willie getting upset like at the animals, I get that's supposed to be kind of more of the whole like
I need to know
white-
where they're getting all their stuff. Like he has his other clothes packed. She just has her perfume in his pocket, and she happens to have a blanket or a towel to dry off with. Like, where are we getting all these things?
I mean, the towel I can see from the town.
yeah, they have some guides. They have some like people that are going to take them to Pankot Palace that
His
they've like
clothes
hired.
are in the doctor's bag that Short Round is carrying. Is probably where they came from. I'm
Yeah.
assuming Short Round had
Her
his extra
perfume
clothes.
was in there too.
That I don't know.
I bet she had
I
her.
don't
know.
She
I
has
don't
a.
know why that bugged me that she had perfume.
Anything goes. I guess.
It was in her breast, I guess.
It always like made me angry as a kid when she's pouring the perfume on the elephant.
No wonder
Like
the
that
elephant
burns. I bet that feels bad.
Yeah.
Being mean to the elephant. I love when they're riding the elephants and Short Round goes, "You're my best friend. You're my very best friend. I'm going to take you home with me. We're going to be best friends forever." He's just like talking to the little baby elephant he's riding.
We'll get a job at the circus.
Is that what
It
he
is
says?
cute.
Yeah, that's what he says.
We'll get a job at the circus.
I'll
That's
take you to America and we'll get a job at the circus.
That's awesome. I love it. I love Short Round. As a kid, I loved it. It felt like it was one of those things of like when a movie or a TV show, they will put a kid in something to appeal to kids, and it either annoys you because you don't want to, because you're like identifying with the cool adults and not the kid, or you actually identify with the kid. And as a little kid, I was like, oh, that's awesome. I love Short Round. I just wanted more Short Round when I was a kid. In fact, actually tonight I showed my wife and son Everything Everywhere All at Once because watching this made me want to watch that. And neither of them had seen it. So
Yeah, he does a great job. K. Hu Kwan. I don't know exactly how to say his name, but when I was a kid, I did find him a little annoying because I wanted to identify with the adults. But when I'm older, I have a fondness for him because Indiana Jones treats him like a son, and he's very kind to him, and he's some comic relief, but he also has a lot of tender moments. So
yeah,
he's kind of the heart of the movie.
He just keeps saying, Dr. Jones, Dr. Jones.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like, no time for love.
Time for love.
Yeah, I like that.
I love that. No time for love.
Strong lines, he says. Sorry, my cat's attacking me.
I wonder why.
So he says Dr. Jones a lot. Very funny, and not very funny. That's not funny.
Yeah, and he keeps
I
like
think one of my favorite lines is, "I'm very small, you cheat very big." I love that.
when they're playing poker. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
And then
great.
he's a cheater.
He is so good in this. And like watching Goonies for the first time too recently, like it really made me appreciate that actor even more.
Data and Goonies. How old do you think he was when this movie came out, by the way?
Well,
15.
He was 14 when this movie came out. So, I mean, I don't know how long it took them to film it, but he looks so much younger than that to me.
Right.
I mean, he is a smaller... 14's not a child, but he's smaller in stature. Even today, he's smaller in stature.
So I went to the Indiana Jones wiki just to look it up, and he's supposed to be 9.
Oh, he's supposed to be 9. Oh,
he's supposed to be 9 in the movie.
Yeah, I can see from weight. I don't know.
I buy it.
He also like straight up. He does some like kung fu at one point, and he does like a straight up like tornado kick into a grown man's jaw. And so I'm like, I'm cool with him being 12. I'm like, all right, that works a little bit better.
Remember, he's Chinese. Everyone knows how to fight in China.
Right. Well, yeah, especially an orphan.
I mean, you're just automatic.
I was cool. I was fine with him being able to fight. He like grew up on the mean streets, as an orphan and stuff.
Yeah.
What I didn't know is that he was one of the stunt coordinators on the first X-Men movie.
What?
Yep.
Yes, he was doing like the fight choreography.
Oh,
some of the fight court. Like I was just watching a video where they're showing him like showing Wolverine. What's his name? Hugh Jackman. He was showing Hugh Jackman and the Hugh Jackman lookalike who's Mystique. And he was like showing them kind of like how they're supposed to move in their fight and stuff. I was like, that's really cool. I don't know. I really like him. He just seems like a really good person, like a really nice guy, like in real life. And this was his very first movie, and he's like, just do this and then Goonies, just boom, boom. Just really cool.
He doesn't do anything else as a kid after that, does he?
No, he did. He was in stuff like throughout the 80s and 90s, and then he just like quit acting for 20 years in the 2000s, basically.
Yeah, he's in a couple, 86, 87, and 91, 92.
93, 94, 97, 2002, and then 2021.
Not huge blockbusters, though.
Yeah. Right, and he just and then the second movie he makes coming back, he wins the Best Supporting Actor Oscar, and that movie wins the Best Picture Oscar. Just like holy crap! And he had a movie come out this year,
Love Hurts.
Yeah, which I've not seen. Yeah, but I do want to see that. It looks cool to me. I think it bombed at the box office, but
I still want to see it.
Yeah, same. I don't care if things bomb. That's
no, Michael. You said you didn't want to see it.
No, I didn't want to see it.
No,
I do. If a movie doesn't make back 50% of its budget, I'm not seeing it. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Irresponsible.
So I want to talk a little bit about like the whole Pankratz Palace part again. Mm-hmm. So when I was a kid, I always did like, I know that we kind of talked about a little bit before, like I was saying, I always thought that food was actually like a delicacy, because I think when you're a kid, you think that like some of the rich food in quotation in general is going to be like disgusting stuff that rich people find good, like caviar, for example, which I've never had, so I have no idea. But that's how my kid brain thought when I saw this movie.
I mean, it could be somewhere. It's just not in India, I don't think.
Yeah, people eat beetles, and people eat. I don't know if people eat snakes and eels or whatever.
I don't think it's surprise. Snakes surprise.
Yeah, this is where they cut open the snake, and there's a bunch of other snakes inside the big snake, and then they eat those snakes alive.
Yeah, that would be. Imagine the preparation goes into that. I mean, it'd be wiggling and shit already.
You got to kill a pregnant snake.
Yeah, it's designed to be. So, I will talk about
that many snakes in here. Okay.
When I was looking through the Making of Temple of Doom book, it mentions that. So Spielberg was worried that that's a very talky scene, and there's a lot of adults talking, and he worried kids would be bored. So he wanted to introduce like fun slapstick things. So they kind of sat around. Him and George Lucas were like, "What are the worst, disgusting foods that you could eat that would be grossed out stuff that make the kids go ugh?" So they wouldn't have to listen to the boring adults talk, and that's the reasoning behind the scene.
But the talking is great.
But again, this movie fails under the let's make it for kids instead of adults. So let's kind of dumb it down a bit. But yeah.
I mean, I think you could have had other exotic foods and it still would have been fine. Like the monkey, the monkey brains. I feel like maybe people ate chilled monkey brains.
I didn't like that, especially couldn't they put it in a dish? It had to come straight from the monkey.
That's how you know it's fresh.
Oh,
right.
Okay.
The monkeys also were just like cartoon gorilla skulls.
Right.
Yeah.
There's that also. Like it was just, I don't know.
Well, they definitely look pissed off.
This scene is really good, though. I do like the talking. I do like the Prime Minister Chatter Lal is like an Oxford-educated guy who's like, the British keep saying they're gonna do this, but they're not taking care of these thugs or whatever. And
yeah, he keeps like very much like making little like pointed remarks about, oh, the British, they sure do like to look after us, don't they?
Right.
Because that general or the Captain Blumbert, he showed up by surprise. They weren't expecting them. And they're kind of like, they have to let these British soldiers. So you can tell he's like he's like an educated Indian guy who goes along with the British, but doesn't like the British. He doesn't like their imperialism, but he's like politely, passive aggressively saying stuff. And yeah, I thought he was a really good character.
And he knows who Indiana Jones is, so you get a bit of backstory for Indiana Jones, which I really liked.
I like that
where
too.
he's like, was it Colombia or whatever, where they're like, they call you a grave robber?
Right. Yeah. At Madagascar, didn't they threaten to cut off? They said he thinks it's his hands, but yeah.
Well, he goes, they've threatened to cut off your head. He goes, not my head. Fine, your hands. Not my hands either. And he looks down.
Yeah, I love it.
Like, what did he do in Madagascar? I'm guessing he fucked the king's daughter as well.
Yeah, I think
that's how I took it too.
Wife or daughter, one or the other.
He slept with someone he shouldn't have.
Yeah, that's so funny.
I do like that they had other adventures. I was also really wondering if maybe that adventure was ever in any of the Young Indiana Jones movies that I've never seen.
I don't think so. I think it's just backstory to this movie. Yeah.
I know the diamond that he gets, or that he's supposed to be paid by in the beginning of the movie, he goes after that in one of the Indiana Jones. Yeah, the Young Indiana Jones, like one of those episodes.
I've never watched all those.
Tiffany, have you ever watched those?
What? I'm sorry.
Young Indiana Jones.
No. And I think it just went away, didn't it?
I think you should.
I've been meaning to, because, one of my favorite...
Your boy.
...is in there. Yeah, my boy. SPF is in there.
Yep.
Yeah, I think they're all on Disney Plus now, aren't they?
Not anymore.
Oh, they got rid of them?
Yep.
I wonder who owns the rights to that. Somebody must own, like Paramount or somebody must own the rights or something.
Oh, I guarantee Paramount does, yeah.
Yeah. And
I
don't know.
They're not on Paramount Plus.
No, they're on Prime only now.
Oh, Prime.
Oh, they're on Prime. Oh, okay. Well,
you
that's
gotta buy
something.
them.
I was like, for free?
Oh, to buy. Oh, okay.
Let's just see how much a season costs to buy on Amazon.
$40 for the first season, the only season.
Jesus.
Ew.
Yeah, I know. We're not buying it.
You can find a VHS box set of it.
You can find a bootleg of it easier, I bet.
Off to eBay.
Yeah, because I'm not.
Paramount,
I
if you're
watched some of
listening.
it.
Yeah, I watched it when it was on. It came out, if I remember correctly, I think I was in the 5th or 6th grade. Was it like 95, 94? Something like that, probably.
Sure.
Somewhere in there.
A couple times I tried to watch it, but I always start at the beginning each time that I did it, and I've never gotten past him being a kid because I just get tired of it.
Well, in one episode they get Harrison Ford back, so.
Oh, do they? For what? The Young Indy?
Yeah, no, it's like a frame at the beginning. He's like, "Let me tell you an adventure that I had once."
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because they replaced the old guy that was supposed to be there.
Yeah, there was an old guy with an eye patch who was like 100-year-old Indiana Jones, like in the 1990s or whatever. Yeah.
Right.
Hey, they're right there going. They could film it and put it in the show. Bring it back.
He'd still be doing his own stunts.
I hold out hope.
It was 92 to 93. I was off. So.
Okay. Yeah, I've always been curious. Okay, so I was just wondering when I was watching that, like if that was something. Okay, that makes sense why they go with such weird animal cuisine for this. I don't.
Right.
I want to know in that soup what kind of eyeballs were they?
Yeah, they look human, right?
Yeah, they do look human.
They look human.
They're really big to be anything else.
They look like cow eyes or something, though. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, they wouldn't be cow eyes.
Oh, yes, that's true.
Yeah, definitely not.
Maybe goats or something. Yeah.
Oh no, they had round pupils though.
Oh, did they? Oh.
Yeah, they had round pupils like a human. So it's
I don't know.
They could be some sort of primate.
Humans, so
You're right, exactly. That's what I was thinking.
I was thinking large chimpanzee or ape or something.
Yeah. That's. I mean, maybe.
Okay.
But yeah, I like that discussion they have, and they have the whole. They introduce the Thuggy cult and all that, and that whole concept.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, this movie, Thuggies were real or allegedly real in the late 1800s.
Oh,
and there's historical debate about whether or not they were like they really did cultish things or they were just like bandits and things. But this movie borrows a lot from a 1939 Hollywood movie called Gunga Din, which is based on a poem. And Gunga Din is a story of British soldiers who are like facing the Thuggy cult. Like it's called the Thuggy cult. And if you ever watch that movie, which you may never do, it has a lot of similarities, including like it has human sacrifices, it has a rope bridge, it has like a high priest who like perform ceremonies and stuff. So it has a lot of the same tropes that this movie does. Just an interesting curiosity to think about.
I was wondering about the Thuggies. I thought it was something that was made up for this movie. That's cool that it's actually was a legend back then.
Right.
Yeah, I had read that they're like bandits, like you said. But I guess it's disputed. But
yeah,
cool. Okay, that improves this movie a little bit too for me just now. So
yeah,
right.
And there's some other like historical stuff, like the Maharaja, which like the little kid. Like if you're not clear what that is, like that's like it had been like it was like in ancient India, like pre-British India. It was like a title, like a prince or a king. But during the British occupation, they basically just like if I understand it correctly, because I took a British and India class in college, but that was like 25 years ago at this point, or 22 years ago at this point. But it was like the British kind of they gave out Maharaja titles like candy, basically, to wealthier Indian like noble people to kind of like have them rule like as little like puppet rulers. And so there's like dozens of them all over India who were like ruling their like tiny little kingdoms as a way for the British to kind of keep the people placated and feel like they were under Indian rule and not under British rule. Okay. If I'm recalling correctly, I don't know if I'm remembering it 100% right or not. But yeah, so the idea of like why is there this like little kid ruling this palace? And then that's because he just probably rules just that palace and like a handful of villages in the area.
Right, because the British can't be everywhere, so they said you better rule in our behalf or whatever.
Yeah, a big thing, like if you look at like when the British were occupying India, it's like 90% of the British troops in India were Indian.
Yeah.
Everything they just basically they paid and armed the Indian people to keep the Indian people oppressed.
Yeah.
And I think the Maharajas were a part of that. And fun fact, if you've ever seen Mystery Men, Hank Azaria's character in that is the Blue Raja. Never
heard of
dresses.
I feel like
you ever seen Mystery Men?
Never
I feel
heard
like
of
I've
it.
seen it.
I've never even heard of it.
But I don't remember.
Oh.
It's where All Star came from. You know, Smash Mouth All Star was the big song for that movie.
Oh, I've never even seen this poster before.
Oh, Mystery Men is so
it's an
good.
Amazing movie.
It is so good.
Where was I in the 90s?
It is so good. And
Ben Stiller.
Yes, Hank Azaria plays. It's a bunch of like misfit superheroes, and Hank Azaria, his whole thing is that he dresses up like an Indian Raja, but speaks with a fake British accent because he's the Blue Raja, which was a British Maharaja, and he throws. Does he throw spoons at people?
Forks is in the poster.
Forks.
Well, it doesn't. He upgrades to forks. Basically. I was thinking he's throwing spoons and then someone convinces him to start throwing forks, but it's been a while since I've seen it. But yeah, he throws silverware at people for reasons.
Aggression.
Okay, anyway, sorry. Got a long track. I was just about the Maharaja being a little kid.
So I was thinking this movie, because they tried to kill Indy, and I'm wondering, like, are they just going to be like, oh, well, I guess he just disappeared? But they're probably going to kill all three of them, I'm assuming, then.
Yeah.
That's the plan.
They've tried several times.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because he's asking questions about the Shiva stone.
Yeah.
And so Shatar knows that he's onto them. He's asking about the Shiva stone, he's asking about the Thuggy cult.
Yeah.
But wouldn't he have just left? If he wouldn't have found this, if he wouldn't have been apprehended by a random guy, like he wouldn't have known the secret doors are there.
They do know he's like a famous archaeologist, though, so they know he's very interested in it.
Yeah, and he's been asking questions, and he's there that night, and then he finds the passage. He finds a passage on his own. He just knows it's there because there's no other way for those guys to have gotten into their rooms.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, or into his room.
Yeah, and the way he kills the guy is kind of violent, where he pretty much hangs on the fan.
The most powerful ceiling fan ever.
Yeah. Right.
Wouldn't it break? Like.
Yes, for sure.
I mean, it can barely.
They made fans different back then.
Yeah,
that's probably true.
It's a really good fan. It's a solid fan.
Lead. Yeah.
And then if you turn the fan off, then the whip that's wrapped around it just immediately falls off also.
Immediately.
That wouldn't happen that way.
Yeah.
When they go through the secret passage, I always thought the bug scene was the worst scene in the movie. Far worse for me than the heart scene.
And it was 100% practical too.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, gross.
Yeah, those are all.
Yes.
They took them, 3 days to film it or something?
Yeah, and they just completely covered Kate Capshaw in bugs
They
Oh,
gave her
no.
like a Xanax or whatever.
Yeah.
And they were like,
Oh, that's right.
and they were like, she's like, okay, I'll do it after she's been drugged up.
Yeah.
By her own choice. By her own choice.
Yeah, she knew she was being drugged. She did that
Right.
willingly, but still.
Right, yeah.
The only way I would do that scene, Theo.
God,
Yeah.
I don't know if I could do it even with that. That was like an episode of Fear Factor.
Right, yeah. Oh, boy.
Fear factor.
I think I could do the bugs. The bugs didn't bother me.
He'd be crawling
Oh.
all over you like that.
I could do it.
Oh, I remember
The multi
Younger Mike could have done it.
No.
This Mike don't like bugs. Younger Mike was like,
Right.
yeah, whatever. Bugs are fine.
Oh, my dad, lived in a slum, and I remember one night I woke up and I was just like, I was hot. I was under this blanket. It was like a velour blanket, and I like kind of just like shook out the blanket, and it's like static electricity, like blue arc of electricity went across the blanket and lit up the room, and I just saw hundreds of roaches crawling on the blanket and fly in the air whenever I popped the blanket.
Oh,
God
I was covered in. I was sleeping in a bed of roaches. I mean, it probably was only a couple of dozen or something, but holy shit, it's like nightmare fuel. It makes my skin crawl thinking about it now.
It's horrifying. That's the worst thing I've heard today.
Yeah.
This week.
I'm glad I could share that story. Yeah, that's growing up in poverty right there.
Oh.
Nightmares now.
yeah, that is nightmarish. I once had bed bugs, and I remember finding out that, oh yeah, they're all over the couch that you've been laying on. Yeah, that was.
Oh.
I didn't have a problem with bugs, and then I was like, I don't like bugs anymore at all. Like,
Yeah, no. Ever since that, I have like a big problem. I cannot handle bugs being on me.
Yeah.
I can kill bugs and all that. I'm fine with that, but I just can't handle like them like crawling on me. Oh, the way she does that in that movie is just like, yeah, she deserved an award for that part of the movie.
Yeah.
It's a really good scene with the bugs. Stuff like, but I mean, I guess that's kind of what Indiana Jones went through. For each movie has a different thing. First one is snakes. This one's bugs. Next one is rats.
Mm-hmm.
What? Fourth one is CGI.
I do like you mentioned snakes when she thinks the elephant is like grabbing her, and she like grabs the snake, and he's just like, you could tell he is like terrified.
That's a good bit.
It was very good acting on Harrison Ford's part. He like looked like legitimately terrified of that snake she grabbed. But yeah, I love that part. And like he's like the spike is like coming down, like it's pressing into his cheek.
Right.
It's like any second he's gonna die. Yeah, I love that part.
We are going to die.
Are going to die.
It's a
Great
good
face
scene.
acting. Yeah.
Yes, it was a really cool scene.
I mean, it has a humor to it, but it fits.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
Also, that room is kind of like it stabs you and crushes you, I guess.
Yeah, it's thorough.
Yeah, it
You're gonna be dead.
says fuck you in particular.
Yeah, and then
There's
they
no way. No way.
and they get through all that, and then they happen upon the part that always scared me when I was a kid.
Yeah, the Temple of Doom.
Yeah, the titular Temple of Doom. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And man, I gotta give it to Amrish Puri, like the guy that plays Molaram.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ, man,
he is so good.
terrifying.
Yes, he's so
Even
good.
watching it now,
Yeah.
like he has fanatic eyes the entire time. Like,
Yeah.
I know he's an actor. He's one
Right.
of the best Indian villain actors of all time.
Yeah,
There's a really good reason for that because there's nothing more terrifying than true belief. And you think he has it. Oh, God.
Yeah, he understood the assignment. Play it big and play it grand.
Oh, my
It's what
God.
you needed.
So I have a question. In this part, you see a bunch of men that look like they're slaves. Where are these men at? Because all you see are kids in the mine.
They're being saved for sacrifices.
yeah. I don't know. I mean, I guess they're working in a different part of it. I don't know.
They might have been kidnapped too, or maybe they're true believers, or maybe they're all drugged. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because they use
They
the
all
mind.
had the black sleeve.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's exactly.
I assume they're all like brainwashed or whatever. So
Yeah. I was just wondering, like, wait, I don't remember because I thought they were all kids, and I'm rewatching movies we're talking. Like, wait, those aren't kids; those are adults. Like, where are they? Where are they supposed to be?
Maybe they've lived there all their life. Maybe they were kidnapped like 10 years ago or something. I don't know.
Oh, well, that's fair.
And they grew up.
Also, why is there
I mean,
lava?
it's not-
Well,
Why the hell not?
I mean, that's not how it works when you dig that deep. It's like it's not like you dig deep. Oh, look, there's a lava stream down there.
So if you look at it, it's like swirling like a whirlpool also.
Yeah.
And I was thinking like maybe it's magic that it has to do with the power of the Shiva stones.
Oh, all right.
yeah, that's true.
They have the 3 Shiva stones like in the, like that. What is it? I forget. Is it like a skull they have them in?
It's like a skull, yeah.
Yeah. And so I figured that's like the power that of that like lava whirlpool, the power that Molaram is able to pull someone's heart through their skin and the wound heal and them still be alive as long as the heart keeps beating and stuff. I figure all that is coming from the stones.
Right. Yeah.
Because also they said the village elder said that a great power has awakened in the palace or something like that. And so I think they've been collecting these stones, and that's where the power is coming from. At least that's kind of the way I've always thought about it.
I don't know. When they shoved that guy in the lava, I was like, is this necessary?
Well, it's
yeah, it is.
I like as he gets near the lava, he like catches on fire too, which is what would happen. Which I like that.
But Willie goes all the way to the bottom.
Yeah.
Just sits there.
And her clothes don't catch on fire either.
Nothing.
Well, and also they don't rip her heart out of her chest before they send her down. Right. So there's that too. She got lucky with several.
She had white privilege, so that's.
So I thought she was being restrained, and as he brought his hand toward her chest, she like covered her chest, and I'm like, they just let her go so she could cover her chest.
She's restrained. He restrains her.
Yeah, but when she's doing that scene where he puts her in the cage and she covers her chest with her hand so that he doesn't take, because that's going to keep him from taking her heart out.
Oh, I got to read this part.
Well, maybe it's like, it's Indy trying to fight Indy's trying to fight his goodness or whatever, so he doesn't do anything.
But also, like, if you put the cage in molten lava, wouldn't the cage melt too?
Not necessarily. If it's a tempered metal, like it's been heat treated and tempered, it's entirely possible that it could survive a dip in the lava.
Okay.
Like forging steel or something?
Yeah.
I'm not a scientist, but I think the movie logic is, it's like metal, so it's just going to get really hot. You know, it's like an iron. It's like branding an iron or something.
Movie logic is magic at this point, but
this movie, I mean, the stones are. This is a magic movie. This is literally magic.
Yeah, they put the stones in the skull.
So when did they steal the stone from the village? Like, how long has it been? Do we know?
It seems recent-ish, right? Because they lost the stone, and then the river dried up, and then the fire happened, and while the fire was happening, the children were kidnapped. So, I mean, I figure it's been, a few weeks, maybe a few months. I don't know.
I'd say a few months, but they don't ever say.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's part of why this logic is kind of weird in this movie. Because, like, did they have all this set up? I assume they had this temple set up already, but they just maybe weren't doing anything until they didn't have the batteries, which were the stones.
Well, I figured it was an ancient Thuggee temple that that has always been there, and that they've basically they're just bringing it back.
Right, I think.
I also want to know what the hell were they mining
for the stones?
Oh, the stones are underground.
Well, they were looking for the other two Sankara stones, which were lost. When Pankrat first fell, a loyal priest to the Thuggees hid the other two stones underground. So they're looking for that. They also said that they mined the gems that support their cause.
So it's like a gemstone mine.
Oh, okay. I was wondering because all you see them doing is hitting stones. I'm like, what the fuck are you guys doing down here? But I missed the line that I guess I missed both those lines. I didn't realize either of them.
Yeah, because I'm reading now, there's 5 stones. So there's the 3 they found, and then there's 2 more they're looking for.
And I guess they need all 5 in order to be fully powerful or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, they activate the Infinity Glove when they do.
Yeah.
But they had a perfect 3-hole skull head rock. Where are they going to put the other
Maybe they'll just make some kids start chiseling 2 more holes up there. They can put it in the skull. I mean, it's got
that's a vampire things.
That's a good point.
Yes, I vote for that.
Yep. They fit in the mouth.
Okay, that makes more sense now. I was just wondering what the hell they were doing. Also, how the fuck was this movie not rated R with some of the scenery? There's fucking arms hanging off the statue, and earlier there's cut fingers on a statue. Like
the 80s, Poltergeist was rated PG.
You had PG or R. That's your 2 options.
And it's definitely not. It's definitely for kids. It's just
It's not hardcore enough for R.
It was
the heart scene. The heart scene is scary, but it's only like a second. Like I think in your mind as a kid, it plays up more. But it's like he reaches in, it kind of goes, and then it cuts away really quickly.
Yeah, so and there's no sex.
There's no sex. Yeah,
almost.
There's almost. Yeah.
We're both very.
There's foreplay, but
I did not like that scene. I thought it was stupid.
Which
it's
one?
Them being like, "It'll be the best night ever. I'll have to get back to you." Just the way that she yells at him. I don't know. I just the whole scene.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, I skipped it.
And then when he comes back, and she's like, "I'm right here." And she just like seems she's like completely oblivious, like does not understand what he's doing at all.
Right.
Can't comprehend.
And he can't just tell her. He can't open his mouth and be like, someone tried to murder me in the other room. We're not safe here. Like something.
It's called comedy,
man.
Mike.
Like, yeah. Like the 80s were a different time. There was humor in ways that you don't understand it. That's probably dark humor. You wouldn't get it. And communication between the sexes wasn't really a thing back then because everything was based on a comedy of misunderstandings.
It wasn't allowed to book
80%. Yeah.
But now the mind makes a lot more sense to me, so thank you.
Right.
I remember them talking about how there being 5 stone, but I did not catch it that 2 of the stones are somewhere underground.
Yeah, I didn't ever get that either. I always thought they're just mining for, valuable stuff.
So okay, and the guy that he does kill, you can tell that's a white guy in makeup now that you mention it. The guy that goes in the machine.
Oh yeah.
Right, yeah. I mean they're doing a little bit of brown face in this movie.
Little bit. And a lot of dubbing too.
Yeah.
When is your dubbing?
The English voices from the Indian kids are almost all dubbed.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like the kid that's short round, or the Maharaja, I believe, is dubbed. I think.
Yeah, it sounds dubbed.
Couldn't they just put subtitles?
And some of the
not in the 80s.
Well, it's the 80s. We barely tolerate subtitles nowadays.
I love subtitles.
Get subtitles on our streaming services. I mean, it will for like basic, but not for this. We didn't know.
Oh yeah, you were upset that none of it was translated.
A portion of this movie, they're speaking non-English languages, and they don't give us any subtitles. So
this will translate it for you.
I just had to pretend. I
know the thing that Molam Ra chants while he's like ripping out the heart is a reference to Lord of the Flies.
Oh really?
Yep.
So like the kill the pig, skin the pig, drink the blood.
Like sear the flesh, something like that.
Yeah,
that's funny.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I was reading that on. I was just reading through the trivia about it, and it said that. Yeah.
If you go on the IMDb Wikipedia or the IMDb trivia, it translates mostly all of the Indian dialogue.
Yeah.
Cool.
But it would be nice if there were subtitles.
One thing this movie, I think another sin of this movie is kind of making Kali to be like a devilish figure when Kali is a goddess of kind of death and rebirth, which is a natural part of life. And now you could also make the point that these people are misinterpreting Kali and worshiping her for the wrong reasons too. So
yeah, but yeah, it does just seem like they're just turning Kali into a devil figure.
Right.
It's the death card from tarot all over again. Everybody swears that the death card is like the worst card, but it's actually very positive.
There you go.
So down in the mines though, man, something was solidified for me in that movie, and I didn't go back and watch all the movies, but I'm pretty sure Short Round is the most dangerous Indy sidekick. I'm pretty sure he caught the most bodies out of all of the movies.
Beats some ass too.
Yeah.
Grew up on the street.
He takes out like 12 guys, like adult men.
Yeah.
With swords.
Like, he's the most effective. And he fucks that Maharaja up, man.
Yeah. Yes, he does.
Beats him pretty severely and then burns him with fire.
Right.
Yeah, it's just like beating him like he's owed money, man. It was awesome.
I like how he burns people and he's like, I'm sorry, Dr. Don't, and then burns them. Like, I like that.
You just
I like that. I like that the purifying power of fire is what wakes people up from the black sleep of Kali.
Right. That's funny.
Also, the fact they drink wine out of some dead guy's head, like,
I mean, that's a nice touch.
But it's blood, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's blood. It's not wine, my friend.
It's wine. It's really wine, I bet.
It's grape juice.
Yeah.
There's an outtake. Oh, I have to mention this. There's an outtake where Harrison Ford is like tied to the boulder, getting whipped by the guards, and then like I think Carrie Fisher comes in and starts whipping him.
That's
and
awesome.
then I think Barbra Streisand or somebody comes in. It's on YouTube, I believe. It's kind of funny. Yeah.
That's funny. I love that.
Yeah. So check it out if you can.
Okay. I'm gonna have to look that up now.
That's really funny, especially because he and Carrie Fisher dated briefly.
Yeah.
So that's
I think she says like that's for. She says something like that's for what you did or something. She says she makes a reference to it or something.
Oh, that's really funny.
I am very curious now.
He is searching it right now.
I am.
Oh, maybe it's just Barbra Streisand. Oh no, it's Carrie Fisher. Okay, yeah, look it up. You can look it up and watch it. Yeah, and
that's
the
funny.
listeners look it up. Yeah. Anyway.
Okay.
Well, I know. So
YouTube.
this is one where Harrison Ford didn't do as many of the stunts as he does, because Harrison Ford did a ton of the stunts in the other Indiana Jones movies, but he He was injured in this one.
Right. They had to fly him back to America, I think. Or he herniated
for
his back.
surgery. Yeah, he had back surgery. So I think it was in the scene where they're where he's fighting the guy where he hangs him from the from the ceiling fan. It's that fight scene. Anyway, I thought that was interesting because he like famously like in Last Crusade staples his hat to his head so it won't fall off during the horse chasing the tank scene.
I think
Dear God.
I think he got dysentery in the first movie too.
Oh, everybody got dysentery in the first movie. Same thing with New Hope.
Right, yeah.
I do think it's funny that you got your throwbacks for Raiders in this movie too, even though they're like throw forwards. Right. He has the 2-sword fight. He tries to pull his pistol, but it's not there.
I love that. He just like nonchalantly like, huh, and he reaches down and his pistol's gone. He's like, I love that part.
That's great.
And what's great is I watched this as a kid and had not seen Raiders, and so. Oh, go ahead.
He does the whole running at the camera and then doing the about face, being chased by a big group like he did with the Jovitos at the beginning of Raiders. Like,
and in a
for being a prequel, it sure does. Yeah,
that happens
for being a prequel
also. Oh, go ahead.
It relies on a lot of previous knowledge.
Yeah,
because isn't it weird to have a prequel in the middle of your trilogy?
Yeah, I think it fits with this because the idea of these movies is that they're supposed to be these like serials. They're just random episodes in the life of Indiana Jones, So I think it actually fits perfectly to have them be completely out of order like that.
Now, it does. If this movie were made today, at the end, there'd be a scene where Marcus Brody comes and says, I need you to go get the fertility idol or something like that.
Yes. Exactly. That would.
I need you to go to South America.
Now.
Yeah.
It'd be a post-credit scene.
Right.
Indy, I'm putting together a team
of top men.
But it was like when I was after watching this movie, I was really thinking about how the fact like it just it's stuff I never thought about. How much is, like I said earlier, how much his character grows. I really was impressed how much that this movie does that.
Mm-hmm.
Another part, when I don't really care for the minecart sequence in this movie, I realize it's fine, but I'm like, also, why do minecart?
I don't know why it influenced Donkey Kong Country.
I like that level, by the way.
Yes, minecart madness.
I have seen it. Go ahead. You go.
Well, I was just gonna say, you can tell it's just they're just using a roller coaster. Like it's like straight up the sound. It's. I think I read that it was like they went to Disneyland and just recorded them like riding a roller coaster in Disneyland. And it's just like, it goes on. I thought it was cool as a kid. Watching it today, I was like, man, this minecart scene just doesn't end. It's so long. It just goes on and on and on.
It is technically well done, though. This movie won an Oscar for visual effects. And I think I forget what museum I went to. Maybe it was in Chicago where I saw how they filmed this. And they had like puppets and they had like many things like scale models. They had live action scenes and they had like animatronic things. So in certain scenes, you can see definitely puppets of the characters moving, but it was all like remote controlled and everything. And it's pretty cool.
Yes, it's a lot of miniatures and stuff. Yeah,
miniatures. That's the word I'm looking for. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's neat. And I love how he stops the minecart and then his shoes catch on fire.
Right. Yeah.
That's a nice.
And he says water. He says water. Yeah. See, that's a good moment. That's good slapstick.
It's very funny. Yeah.
Yeah.
Water. Temple.
There is water coming.
True.
So I have a question. When
they knock over a giant thing. Yeah.
So when they knock down the water, how did they knock down the same gate that's holding back the water at Isengard? I never understood that. That's what it looks like, doesn't it? The amount of water that comes down that tunnel looks like they just released it in Isengard.
It is a lot. Yeah.
I mean, you don't think about it too logically about how much water is there.
I did this time. Not as a kid.
Right. And a kid, that's why this movie is made for kids. So.
Yeah.
As a kid, I'm like, okay. And I'm like, wait a second. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
For being made for kids, this is the darkest Indiana Jones movie.
For sure.
Like, easily the darkest one.
But Ken,
and
like, at least it isn't woke. They're not fighting Nazis, the good guys.
I guess if you look at Raiders and say Raiders, if you look at Raiders and be like, okay, God is real and he does have the power to kill everybody at a whim. It can be pretty scary, I guess, in the modern age.
Yeah. But
then it's okay because
we weren't as worried about a vengeful God back then,
Yeah, maybe not.
Now,
but it's okay because
I'm pretty sure we're all kind of.
It's okay because the Hindu gods are real, and also
that's what I was going to say.
Right.
These movies presuppose a universe in which both the Christian God and the Hindu gods are real and have actual power on our planet.
Well, I've read American Gods. I've watched the show.
Yes.
I believe it. It's possible.
Yes. Oh, exactly. Crossover of American Gods.
We're not going to talk about that author, but we can say that, wow, what a good time.
Just reminded me. God, I love his writing so much.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
That one hit me a little. Like, come on now. Why you gotta be a piece of shit?
Yeah.
Thank God no one in these movies has been canceled. Am I right? I don't think anyone. Not that we know of.
I don't think so, right?
I don't think anyone's been Me Too'd in the Indiana Jones movies. They keep it pretty tight shit.
I don't think so, yeah.
That's good.
Wait, isn't Robert Wagner in Crusade?
Is who? Oh, well, Sean Connery is a dick to women, I guess. Well, but that's it.
Yeah, I was thinking Natalie Wood's husband, but I'm probably way off.
Oh no, that's not Robert Wagner that plays Walter Donovan.
Oh, okay.
Somebody different.
Okay, never mind then. All right, good. That's what I was saying, because that dude definitely murdered his wife, and Christopher Walken helped, but...
I know what you're talking about.
Allegedly.
Oh, if you're listening, Christopher Walken, please do not sue. Please be aware that what we are saying is that
allegedly.
Allegedly, yes.
Christopher Walken.
He didn't help. He just covered it up. All right. Anyway, no, I agree. It's nice. Nobody's been canceled in this movie, as far as I know. The movie itself maybe has been a little canceled,
right?
Probably should be if it hasn't been.
Yeah, I mean, but it's not been because we just watched it on Disney Plus. So when people talk about people being canceled, they're full of shit anyway. They keep making their money no matter what. So, but no, I think this movie's great, and there is some racism, but it's I don't know.
It didn't bother me as much as I thought it would because it's 1930s, so I can let some of it slide. But I see why India said, "Yeah, we're not letting you record this here."
It bothered me less watching it by myself today than it did showing it to my son a year ago.
No, that's fair because
showed to my son like a year ago. I was like, maybe we'll just skip to the next one. We didn't end up finishing it. I don't think. He wasn't really getting into it anyway. He liked the first one. He liked Raiders and he really liked Crusade, but he wasn't really getting into this one either anyway. And my wife wasn't liking it. She didn't care for Willie's screeching.
Yeah. Even as a kid, it's apparent that she's just annoying. I don't know if anyone who came back thinking Willie Scott was their favorite character.
No, I mean, I thought she was really attractive, but...
I mean, she's got that 80s perm going on. Sexy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a good perm.
Oh, I have a question, Ken. When the guy is getting crushed in the machine, is he trying to follow the Batman rule? I can't kill you, but I don't have to save you? I thought he's trying to save.
I think he's trying to save him.
Well, I don't think he's trying to save him. I think it's like, hey, I need to get up there. I'm going to use you to pull the rope because I'm pretty sure, like, he hands the rope to the dying man.
He does.
Just so he can get pulled up.
I think that's exactly what he's doing. I didn't think he was trying to help him at all.
No, I think this is you're going to die. You deserve this. And I'm going to go up that way because I need to.
There's definitely not enough blood for me.
I mean, if I got to go, is not a way I want to go. Being crushed like that. Oh my God, that must be awful.
I don't know. I guess I was a kid. I always assumed Indiana Jones was like, well, I want to kill you, but not that way. That's too much for me.
Yeah.
But maybe that's my morality talking, yeah.
Like, I feel like he doesn't give a shit as long as the job gets done.
Yeah.
Especially in this one, Fortune and Glory.
Well, also, this one is, I was going to say these are bad people, but then again, he fights Nazis and there too.
I mean, he meets Hitler, so, yeah.
Yeah.
It's his autograph.
You like that, see?
We'll get to it.
Oh, man.
50 movie episode. I'm going to do it for 200. It's going to be The Last Crusade because I feel like I should get there in less than a year, and it will be very, very appropriate to talk about punching Nazis in the face in less than a year. I feel like.
You must have me on. I have a Last Crusade tattoo.
Yeah, you have to have Kerry on. I'll be on there, too.
Yes.
I'll pass.
Last Crusade is probably my maybe like third or fourth favorite movie of all time. So
nice.
Yeah.
I don't know for me. I haven't seen it in a bit. I do know like when I put this movie on for Tiff and I went down to go record and then she started watching Last Crusade. I came up to go get something and I literally just stopped there like a child and just stared at the TV and watched Last Crusade for about 10 minutes. I'm like, what am I doing? Like I got stuff to do.
It was made in a laboratory to be repeat viewings, to be made to watch repeat viewings. I think.
Yeah,
It has the
that's
formula.
Very fair.
I've actually probably seen that movie more than any other movie.
Yeah.
Like ever
That
of
makes
any
sense.
movie that's made. Yeah, because that was when I was a kid and my grandma had that on VHS, and I would go to her house every day in the summer when she would babysit me over the summer, and I would just watch that almost 5 days a week. Like I was just like I was one of those kids where I would just watch the same movie every day.
That's good.
And that, yeah,
I know what
Yeah.
that's like.
I mean,
yeah,
I've
that's
seen
my son who's seen all of Adventure Time 12 times now. So
Oh my.
yeah.
Cars, a 2006 movie, well over 30 times.
Oh
And
geez.
how many times have I watched Labyrinth?
Not that many, actually.
Which movie?
RuPaul, on the other hand, how many times have you watched that
Labyrinth.
show?
Oh.
I can't watch
Yeah,
movies too
mine's
many
a good
times in a
show.
row. I'm never. Well, maybe as a kid I did. I don't know. If I did. I don't remember. Like I don't think I was ever that way.
Yeah,
with
I
movies.
need a couple months at least to recharge.
Yeah, I
That
do
could be
now. Yeah, I do
Yeah.
now. But
I go through my phases. Like when
One-
I'm editing, I'll put on a movie, but varies.
One thing I do want to talk about in regards to Willie Scott in this movie is that I know Kate Capshaw gets a lot of hate for this, and I don't think George Lucas and Steven Spielberg get enough hate.
yeah, I don't think it's her fault. Like she's just doing what they're
not.
telling her. They're doing
Yeah.
what she's being told to
She
do.
plays the character so well. We just hate her for it.
Because
Yeah.
it's a badly written character.
I know.
Right.
And that's not her fault. She
Yeah, it's a
played it well.
badly written character, so that's George Lucas's fault, and the other two screenwriters on this one as well, Willard Huyck and Gloria Katz, on my list. But it's Spielberg's fault for not reining back the performance a little bit. Like it took a team to really fuck up that character. So, Kate Capshaw, if you're listening, I doubt you are, but I don't blame you entirely. I don't blame you at all, really. You did what you were told. You were just following orders.
That's gonna age like fine wine, Ken. That line right there.
I'm very good at that, yes.
So that was just okay. That was just a water tower that they knocked down.
Yeah, it's a water tower. That's what's.
There's not that much water in a water tower.
It's a very big water tower.
It's a narrow
It is a very big
passageway.
water tower.
I know, you're right.
Water.
It doesn't justify it. It's too much water, but
It never bothered me. It doesn't. It doesn't really bother me now.
No, at one point I was like,
Now-
oh, it's the Titanic. Run!
The one thing that bothered me about that was that there's two guys, one of whom is hitting it out on the top, and one of them who's hitting it in on the bottom when they're trying to take out the supports. Those two guys are making sure that that one pillar does not move.
Oh
And
yeah,
it's a very small thing, but I noticed it today and I'm never going to forget it.
Can't unsee it now.
One guy's like, "What are we supposed to do? Are we supposed to knock it down or keep it up? I don't know." But also, like in the mines, there's freaking like drops where there's lava. Like all that water would just go down there and solidify.
Okay, enough
And
of
it
the
makes
lava.
obsidian, which you need to make the portals.
Yeah.
Portal of lava.
Minecraft. I'm pretty sure.
It's a
reference.
Minecraft thing. You wouldn't understand.
I do really like the rope bridge scene. It's a good climax of the movie.
yeah.
That is,
That's-
yeah.
It
that's
is so good.
my stuff is good.
But
And especially like when he said, when they're approaching each other and he's like, all right, short round, hold on. And you know what's going to happen. He's like, oh shit, he's going to cut the bridge.
Well, he talks
He's
in
not
Chinese
nuts. He's
too,
crazy.
Right. Yeah. There we go.
which
There we
I
go. Yeah.
is a good touch. You know, he
Yeah, it's a
says
good touch.
something that way they won't understand him because apparently they speak English.
Right. Well,
not Chinese.
I mean, English is probably accurate, right? Like,
Well, at least nowadays, most Indians speak, a good percentage of Indians speak English and Hindi because,
Yeah, I think a lot would during British occupation.
right,
Mhm.
exactly. You need to interact with the British.
so.
But anyway,
guess
yeah, it's a great scene it's a great scene.
And like when he puts the stones over the bridge
Right.
to sacrifice the stones, it's very much like the thing where he's going to shoot the
arc.
with a rocket
Yeah,
launcher,
with the rocket launcher. Yeah.
even though you can't do it. Except in this, I feel like if he dropped the stones, it still wouldn't. They would just murder him any problem.
Well, that's what he says. He says, "They'll be found. You won't." I love that. I love that delivery.
Yeah.
They'll be found.
Balaram's great.
You won't. He is so
Would
good.
they be found? I mean, also there as I'm rewatching this,
Eventually,
I mean, he's got lots of slaves.
yeah,
Don't they go in the water?
but you just put your
Crowdsource it.
slaves in the water to get the alligators out.
Crowdsource it.
I mean, you bait alligators. You just use
that's why you have
humans as bait.
slaves to die. They're just robots for you.
I do
Yeah.
like the line when he's like preparing to meet Kali when he starts cutting the bridge. I do. That is so good.
I thought that was so cool when I was a kid because I was like, oh shit, that's a badass line. So badass.
Is that how the bridge would react though? By cutting one end of it? I guess.
Yeah, because it needs both sides to be able to hold it up. The weight. I would guess. I don't know. Yeah. Maybe not. I always kind of just thought like that sword. There's no way that sword is going to actually be able to break that. But I guess it's an old, decaying bridge. They do show that when around it's like strong wood, and then falls right through it.
That is a good part.
Yeah.
And then when he's throwing off his random guys into the alligators, like that river looks small at one scene, then it looks bigger in a different scene.
Yeah, I mean it's probably two different places put together. So
yeah,
it's on location. One shot's on location, and the other shot is the alligators are probably like a set or something, or like a different river stock footage or something.
I mean, they get the alligator death roll in there, so that's cool.
Right? Yeah,
because they do that. They grab a hold of you and they do that. That's what I've been told.
Oh boy. Just don't ever go in the water. You'll be fine.
I ain't messing with alligators. I've seen alligators.
Would they be crocodiles or are they alligators?
Crocodiles in India.
I would think they'd be. Well, I think they were supposed to be, right? At least crocodiles. I didn't. Okay. I'm not good. I'm not good enough at spotting the difference. Yeah, I'm not good enough at spotting the difference. So
alligators are North American.
Yeah, alligators are only in North America. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know what they used for the scene or not.
But they will kill you.
I wouldn't be surprised if they filmed that in like a place in California or something. I don't know.
Well, I know that when they're going on the raft at the beginning, when they first get to the village, that's filmed in Idaho.
Right. So yeah.
So it's possible, but I know they filmed most of this movie in Sri Lanka. So
right. Yeah. Exactly.
I was reading a thing about like them staying at a hotel in Sri Lanka and him teaching Keho Kwan how to swim.
Oh, that's cool.
Just think it's just it's just like the all the stuff you read about like how Harrison Ford took him under his wing and treated him like a son on the film set, and he didn't know who Harrison Ford was because he had never seen any of his movies. Which is crazy to be 13 years old in 1984 and have not seen Star Wars or Indiana Jones.
I mean,
his parents were refugees.
Oh, is that true?
Yeah.
Oh, from where?
I don't remember what country.
Vietnam, right? Vietnam.
I think it might have been Vietnam.
Is he Vietnamese?
Yeah, he's Vietnamese. Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
But the money that he got from this movie, like it paid off like their debts from coming over to the U.S. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. No. Yeah. That's right. He's from Vietnam. He's from Ho Chi Minh City, in fact. Though it's interesting that his like Wikipedia thing says he's from Ho Chi Minh City, but he was born there in 1971. It was Saigon. It was Saigon at the time. But
yeah, interesting. That's interesting.
Random thing here I was wondering is when the British show up at the end, the Thuggy cult has bows and arrows, yet the British all have guns. Shouldn't everybody have guns here?
Yeah.
Or guns outlawed, I guess?
I mean, you could get them on the black market.
I guarantee they were restricted and expensive. Yeah, I could buy it. They're using swords and stuff earlier.
Oh, yeah.
Probably because they had those laying around in Pankratz.
I mean, this movie wants to be like a more 19th century version. It's set in the 20th century, I think. It wants to be a mesh of two different worlds.
Right.
So I guess you can look at it kind of like that instead of like, they don't have guns because of that.
Okay. I was just wondering, but I guess I never realized how much this movie, until like this time watching this movie, how much this movie was a white savior complex.
Yeah.
I haven't mentioned that before now.
We did a little bit at one point early.
It's pretty nasty. It's nasty work. And the British are just awful.
Yeah, the British were not the good guys in India.
No.
And
Intended to be.
I mean, every empire believes itself to be the good guys. So,
like
but
Trump?
there's
yes. Also, dictators always think they're good guys. Ask what the hell is the guy in charge of Libya? Gaddafi?
Gaddafi.
Yeah, when he gets murdered, he's like, I did everything for you guys. Why do you hate me? And then they murdered him. And he didn't understand.
After he was murdered, he didn't?
No, before. As he was fleeing for his life, he didn't understand why they wanted to kill him terribly.
Well, I think everybody smokes their own, they eventually blow their own smoke up their own ass and they start believing it. So
yeah.
If you I don't know if you guys have ever listened to the Behind the Bastards podcast by Robert Evans.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really super well researched, cite their sources by a former like war correspondent turned comedy writer who worked for Cracked, Robert Evans. I've just only started getting into it in the past few months and been listening to their old episodes from like when they started like 8 years ago. And I think like their second or third episode of the entire podcast was on Gaddafi, and it was is super interesting stuff. If you ever want to learn about him.
Okay. I don't know much about him. He was in there's a documentary I watched called How to Become a Tyrant, narrated by Peter Dinklage on Netflix.
Is Trump on there?
Not yet. Give it time. But it's pretty good, and they talked about a little bit about Gaddafi.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's super interesting. Yeah.
Dinklage narrates it?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
So he's not a dictator I know a lot about. They mentioned a couple others that I wasn't as aware of. Most of my knowledge is World War II. Like, I can tell you a lot about Hitler, but the rest of the stuff I'm not as educated.
Yeah, definitely check out that podcast. They've got an episode about like the romance, the very like woke kind of feminist romance novels that Saddam Hussein wrote.
Oh yeah.
Say what now?
Yeah. Saddam Hussein was a romance novelist, and all of his romance novels featured a female protagonist who kind of is a badass and teaches the male character to be less of an asshole to women.
That is weird considering what he did to people. So
yeah, it's wild stuff. It's wild stuff. He was an elementary school teacher too,
and turned murderer,
or middle school teacher, middle school I think. But yeah,
anyway. Who knows? It makes you wonder what Mola Ram was before he became Mola Ram.
Right. Yeah, I am curious where exactly he came from, how he got connected, how he got involved in all this.
Yeah, maybe he was educated. Maybe he was maybe he was a school teacher. You never know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, where's that prequel? I want that prequel.
Mola Ram prequel.
It'd be a 10-episode Disney Plus exclusive.
Yes.
What?
Don't
they
say
give
you want to watch
everybody else a show.
Right.
He deserves one.
Right.
Yeah.
They could get the actor's kid to play him.
I'll say that because the actor died like 20 years ago. So.
Right.
Yeah, but like his kid looks enough like him where he can pull it off.
In the last episode, he'll learn about the Shankara stones. They'll say, I have to go find the Shankara stones. Dude, cut to black.
It's going to be like Penguin, right? It's like where it's like you're going to feel sorry for him. You're going to like sympathize with him, but then he's going to do some like really awful stuff.
Yeah. There you go.
Agreed. We're not going to spoil that shit though.
No, I'm gonna cover it this year. That's my plan.
Is that a series?
A 1-season series, yes, based in the Batman world with Robert Pattinson's Batman.
Oh man, that show, that is incredible.
That's what I've heard.
Great show.
That and Peacemaker and the Suicide Squad remake are like the best things that DC has done live action. I mean, since the Nolan films, at least. Penguin's so good.
Well, hopefully, if Superman does good, otherwise I'm worried what will happen if Superman bombs. So
I think it's going to be good. I mean, just from that trailer
Same.
of Crypto. Oh my God.
I'll be there.
All right.
Surprise. It's a superhero movie.
Mm-hmm. I'm taking air.
Excuse you. That is rude.
Oh, all right. Anything else to say about Temple of Doom? Or should we go to Shelf Stacker Box?
Let's go. Go to judgments.
Right.
Let's do it.
Tiffany, why don't you go first?
It will be Shelf. I knew it was going to be Shelf. It's just, it's racist and it has its issues, but it's a fun movie. It was still fun. It was like I remembered it, so I'll do Shelf.
Okay. I'll go next. I'm also going to put this on the shelf. I had a good time with this movie. I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would. It's not as good as 1 or 3, but it's still a good movie. And now that I know it's a prequel, I appreciate the fact that he's more of an ass than he is in Raiders, because now it makes sense to me. So it went up a notch.
Will you whip some sense into him or what?
No, Willie's just annoying, but right. Oh God, what the hell is her name? Marion in the first movie, right?
Yeah.
She makes him grow a lot.
And the 4th movie?
Let's not talk about that right now.
Who has seen the 5th movie?
I have.
I have not.
The alleged 5th movie.
I have not.
I won't get into it. I won't get into it, but I do have thoughts about it. But yeah.
Okay.
They tricked me with that 4th film. I'm like, trick me once, shame on you.
I mean, isn't it World War II stuff again somehow?
Can't they get past it?
There's time travel.
Yes, there is. Yes. Spoilers, there is time travel involved. So. Yeah.
Oh, no, I don't know if
It is called the Dial of Destiny, so I figured. I'm
also,
curious.
the opening takes place in World War II as well. So, yeah.
Then you got me.
Get the fuck out of here.
I won't get into it, but again, I think some parts of it are worth seeing because you do get to see Indiana Jones in World War II, so that's
Is
fun.
it better than a guy swinging like a monkey?
Yes, I will say that, yeah.
Okay, then.
Is that number 4?
Yes.
I don't remember.
When they don't know how to write Shia LaBeouf how to get back to the group, they go, what if he swing like a monkey?
With a bunch of other monkeys swinging next to him.
Oh my God. I haven't seen that movie since I saw it in theaters.
Did we see that together?
No.
I haven't seen it since I fell asleep watching it at home.
At least you didn't pay money for it.
No. Well, I mean, I think I bought it. Did I rent it? I don't know. I might have rented it or something, but I fell asleep halfway through it and then woke back up with 20 minutes left. I was like, oh, this is garbage. I never watched it again. Yeah, sorry. Anyway.
Oh, you're fine. Ken, what about you?
Oh man, like I've been thinking about it and I gotta put it on the shelf. Like it wasn't as bad as I remembered it, and I definitely have a lot more sympathy for Cade Capshaw now than I did last time I watched this. It's fun. Focusing more on Short Round when I was watching it this time helped me realize that he is best sidekick Indy ever had, period.
Yeah.
And
100%.
Where's the movie where Short Round grows up to be an archaeologist because of Indiana Jones?
Right? Oh my god.
Where's
that movie? A martial arts archaeologist. He could do it now. He could 100% do it now. He could have his own Disney Plus series called Short Round. I mean,
he still has that hat.
Yes.
That he won't leave.
That dirty New York Yankees hat.
The hat is the first shot of the trailer. It's like it goes done, then you see the hat, slow zoom on the hat on the table.
Right.
I mean, he's so hot right now with he could 100% do that.
That would be fun. That would be so much fun.
I'd be totally into it. Yeah.
Well, me too.
It'd be set in like that with his current age. You set it in like the 60s.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
But can Indiana Jones work in the 60s? Because I don't. Isn't that when?
Well, not Indiana Jones, but Short Round in the Cold War.
That would be great.
You got it. Okay.
East Asia.
Dial of Destiny is set in 1969 and various other times. So there you go.
And the fourth movie's in the Cold War also. So
right,
it's the Soviets in that one too.
Wasn't good.
Well, yeah, okay, true. But
it might surprise you. I don't think it's as bad as you remember it being.
I want to watch it again for this show. Originally, I was going to do 125, 50, 75, 200 to be all the Indiana Jones movies, but that ship sailed, so we'll get to it after I get 200.
I'll be on the third one. I like it.
And Peter, what about you?
I think I might put it in the stack. I like it well enough, but I've seen it a lot, and I've kind of not grown. I kind of have fewer fond memories of it than I used to. I mean, I have fondness for it, but I kind of see that there are other things to watch and there are other things to do. And I don't have as much fondness for it as I did for a kid. You know what? We haven't mentioned it, but I do like John Williams' score a lot, though. John Williams does a great job, and all his themes are really good, as always. So maybe I appreciate it as a giant John Williams music video.
That would be fun, actually.
And Kerry.
Shelf. I would have said stack until I rewatched it today, and I enjoyed it so much, actually. So yeah, shelf for I think shelf. I think from now on, when I rewatch Crusade pretty much like at least once a year. I do Raiders less so, even though I do like Raiders, and I don't really rewatch this one at all. But I think I might next time I do. I might do all three.
That's how I watched this. I don't even remember the hell I watched this last time, but yeah. I think I'll do the same whenever that day comes, but I really want to watch Last Crusade now.
I can't be the only one keeping it on the stack. I'll put it in the shelf. I'll put it just because I do have a fondness for him. You've convinced me. I've been peer pressured into it.
This movie was better than I remembered it being. Like, I remember this being like a really stupid movie, and I rewatched it for this podcast, and I actually watched this movie like roughly 2.5 times. Sitting down here at one point, waiting for
compared to the slop that's made today, it's leagues above anything that's been in the theater. I mean, leagues above any adventure film that I can remember.
It's still a good movie. It has its issues, but it's still fun.
Yeah.
Fun. I can overlook some of the stuff because it takes place in 1930s. I can accept some things. I didn't realize that the animal thing was more racist than what it was. But I also like adventure movies, I think, too. Like Mummy is one of my favorite movies. And
the thing is I understand if it offends somebody, you feel you have 100% right to be offended by it. I'm a little, growing up in the 80s, I am grading off a curve a little bit because like most movies that we watched back then were, you kind of figure out as you grow up that they're a little more, they're problematic,
Yeah, at least this didn't have a ghost trying to sleep with a 13-year-old, so that helped for me. Beetlejuice. Maybe she's not 13, but...
Stop ruining one of my favorite movies for me.
I did not like that movie at all.
At least it wasn't the original script, okay?
Wait, are you besmirching Beetlejuice?
I didn't like Beetlejuice. Go listen to the episode. I really did not enjoy that movie.
And they ruined it all for me.
But I like Beetlejuice when I saw it in theaters, and that movie's awful.
God, I hate that movie.
but I enjoyed it. I was like, this is fine. It's fun.
I love Beetlejuice so much.
Maybe I'll rewatch it at some point, but I don't know. I think Tim Burton. I can't handle Tim Burton anymore. I'm just like, I only like, if this movie doesn't involve a guy with a cape and a cowl, I'm not interested.
That is fair. Yeah, not liking Tim Burton is fair. I would actually say I get it, but I love Beetlejuice. Yeah, he's a lot. That's what I mean to say.
I'll have to rewatch it at some point.
What, Beetlejuice?
Yeah, just to see what I think.
No.
I didn't say
I'm not watching it with you. You can watch it by yourself.
I do that plenty.
I know.
All right, I think we should go to plugs. And Peter, where can people find you at?
You can read my books online. The first book in my sci-fi trilogy is called The Fifth Civilization. You can get it on Amazon. Check it out today.
Amazing books. Love the trilogy. So good.
Never read the second one, but I don't read. So
thanks, Kerry, and thanks, Mike.
I read one.
That's good.
He had to buy it twice, though.
I did.
Because he lost the first copy.
Yeah, I never did find it again either.
More money for me.
Yeah, exactly.
And I lost the second copy too.
But you finished it, didn't you?
I finished it first, and I lost it. So.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll buy it next time and have Peter sign it when we go to Wisconsin again.
We should do that. So I don't know if they sell it physically on anymore.
Oh, they
you
don't?
can.
No, they do. Yep, it's there. Never mind.
You can buy it.
It's a good book. All right, and Kerry.
Hey, I'm Karuseta, Kerooscta on Twitch and YouTube and also the Discord. I modify, repair video game consoles on my channel, but more often I just stream whatever I happen to be playing. I haven't been doing a whole lot lately. I did a full Dark Souls 3 Pyromancer playthrough, 100% boss run on there, and made a whole like YouTube playlist out of it and everything. So if you're interested in watching a mostly silent Let's Play of Dark Souls 3, check that out.
On Peter, when you look at the books that you also might like with yours, one of the books it recommends is Married to the Alien Admiral of the Fleet.
Yeah.
So
you know what? I always said I should branch out into sci-fi romance. That's guaranteed hit.
Book 4 of 10, the Renaissance Alliance.
I'm just going to do one more plug. If you're a fan of The Expanse, that's what it reminds me of the most.
This was like
not
the
like it. Like I would think that it would recommend. Hey, if you like this, you should check out The Expanse.
Yeah,
so,
interesting.
Yeah,
well, thank you.
I'm a big fan of those books. Well, I've only read the first 2 books in that series, but I really like them, and then I really love the show. So, and it's like that's really what it reminded me kind of like that, and a little bit of maybe like a little bit of Mass Effect.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it's very, but not in a derivative way at all. Just it's like, it has a similar vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Oh, and is your son still making YouTube videos?
Oh yeah, man. He's like 700 something subscribers on YouTube. Yeah, he's super into it. It's a Naturopy, Natropy Dragon. Naturopy Dragon. He does those dragon puppets, but he does all sorts of stuff. And his like one of his big things where he wanted stuff to. He got like a tripod for his birthday because he wanted to be able to do more like film his videos better. He's got a whole studio set up in his bedroom, little like filming space and all that. So he's really into that.
Pretty cool.
How old is he?
Yeah, he's 13.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so 13 and has like 7 times as many YouTube subscribers as I do. So very cool.
Hey, it's got more than the podcast too. I mean, he puts the work into it is the thing. Like I don't he really puts in the work on it. So appreciate you letting me plug it. Of course. I always want to plug other people's stuff. And if you enjoyed this episode, over 750 episodes of this podcast, that's probably 800. It's about to be 800. Not there yet. So check out everything that we do. If you want to see our other Indiana Jones episode so far, I'll be in the show notes. Otherwise, you can search everything we do on Podbean. We do movies, comics, TV shows, video games, all sorts of content. If you want to support the show, we do a Patreon for Little Dog. Vote in our Patreon poll. We have 1 to 2 polls a month. Great way to affect the show. If you want to be a part of the show, if you want to suggest things for the show, join Discord. It's free. We're always happy to have new people join us or tick up. Lurk. Yes, that is the word. Want to give a shout out to my awesome intro and outro courtesy of Helena at Hell Has Free. Follow her on TikTok and Instagram. And check out A Gamer Looks at 40 with Bill Tucker. And check out absolutely the best podcast, Work in Progress. They talk about the MCU movies and MCU adjacent films. And please follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, YouTube, audio only, and rate and reviews wherever you get your podcast. I think that's everything I need to say, so we will see you guys all next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
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 So long.